and just quickly talking about the what-ifs surrounding specifically Kevin Durant.
Okay.
When you are the best player in the world,
Right.
the what-ifs will trail you for the rest of your career. Because what if he didn't leave OKC?
So this is really
What if he
good.
didn't leave
Absolutely. Let's
Golden?
do it. Ho.
No.
I want to make sure that I heard this correctly.
Whoa,
Did I
time
just
out.
hear-
Hold on. Is this really happening to me? Am I getting duetted by Jermaine Womack right now? No. This is my worst nightmare, Christine. Dude, is this Chilltown32 in the flesh?
In effect, my man, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man. All right, listen, I take back what I said unless you agree with me. Hey, everybody's got to welcome in our friend Jermaine Womack. If you're not familiar with this guy's work on social media, he's flirting with 1 million followers on TikTok. This dude will flame anybody's take on the current state of the NBA, the old school state of the NBA. Jermaine, this is a true pleasure to have you on Hoop Streams. How are you doing?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. I was my blood pressure has just gone down because you just said you're not really sure about that Kevin Durant thing. So my blood pressure just went back down because I was thinking to myself, are you sure about that? Because there's a guy that's in Milwaukee, I believe they call him the Greek Freak, who's currently the best player on the planet and has been the best player on the planet. So I'm thinking to myself, are you sure about that, or you want to come off of that for a second?
I guess I should preface this and that with saying Giannis hasn't tried to force his way out of Milwaukee. He is still a very happy customer there in the great state of Wisconsin. So there is a different set of rules that apply to, I guess, Kevin Durant if and when he wants to load up the moving truck and head out west.
I don't think Gary believes what he said, by the way.
Or head back out west.
He doesn't believe that.
This is great. Yo, J-Dub is really joining us on Hoop Streams right now. We gotta learn more about the social media presence, what he does on TikTok. Chilltown32, man, talk to us about how the social media page started.
My best friend to this day, his name's Roderick. He's in my ear constantly. Yo, you gotta get on TikTok. I'm not a social media guy at this point. I don't bother with Facebook. I don't do the Instagram thing. I don't do any of this sort of stuff. And he's constantly in my ear. Yo, my kids love TikTok. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna get involved in it. I'm just gonna see what it is. Well, I'm on it one day, and there's this one guy who's talking about how the 1985-86 Bulls weren't that bad, and Jordan actually did have help. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, I was around during that time, and Orlando Woolridge and Dave Corzine and Troy Brown, no, he did not. So that's not true. I ended up stitching one of the videos, and next thing I know, I'm getting a question, well, how good was Charles Oakley, and how good was Bill Laimbeer? And it just snowballed into something completely different that I was not necessarily prepared for, but I welcomed it.
I love that you're schooling the young kids on what basketball was like, you know, a little bit back in the day. But I like that you said that your friend told you that his kids were on TikTok. I mean, Richard Jefferson, we just saw you being interviewed by him. He's an older guy on TikTok. Gary is an older guy on TikTok.
Hey, flagrant.
You're obviously
flagrant.
an older
Objection.
guy on TikTok. So what does it feel like to be the voice of the old school on the TikTok platform?
It's unrealistic, to be quite honest with you, but it's welcoming, and it's definitely unexpected, but it's welcoming. I, again, was flabbergasted by how many younger people didn't know about the all-time greats. I was amazed that when I bring up guys like Alex English, I have people who say to me, well, who is Alex English? I'm thinking to myself, what? You don't know who Alex English is? Are you serious right now? I mean, we're talking about an era of Michael Jordan, of Larry Bird, of Magic Johnson, of Bernard King, and Alex English scored the most points from 1980 to 89. You don't know who Alex English is. And it's something that snowballed, and I had to, again, I basically just got myself back together because I put myself in the same position as them. Because I remember as a 15-year-old, and I wish you would try to tell me that Elgin Baylor was better than Dominique Wilkins. I would have been like, what are you talking about? Of course, until I found out who Elgin Baylor was. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, this guy is awesome. Wait a minute. I got to go do my homework on him. So it's something that's definitely welcome. It's unexpected, but it's definitely welcome.
J-Dub, listen, as a guy who grew up in Denver, it pains my soul that there are NBA fans out there who don't know Alex English and who don't know that the Nuggets before, you know, that those 90s Nuggets that were always perennial doormats were like kind of nice back in the day. And it was because Alex English was going coast to coast, night in and night out. So that's one of those instances on TikTok where you see generationally how the game is a little bit different from this set of viewers to a set of viewers back in the day, and we try to act as that bridge, right? What's been like the worst take? And there are plenty of bad takes on the internet, but what's like a bad take that felt personal, that stuck out to you, that you come across either on TikTok or YouTube that you just had to address?
One of the worst takes that I think that I've ever heard is to have to listen to people tell me that Wilt Chamberlain played against plumbers, and to think that there were only 8 teams in the league at that time. And I'm thinking to myself, well, there's only 8 teams in the league. That means that the tougher competition, I have to see them more. That's number one. Number two, those great players back then who were quote unquote plumbers, that's a testament to them. You know why? Because I had a day job. So can you imagine if I was doing this 24 hours a day like these guys are today? Like, I'm selling cars in the off season and I'm 20 and 10. So I think that that was fantastic to hear these guys tell me that these guys are plumbers. It's either that or that Kawhi Leonard's 2018-2019 season was overrated. I'm thinking to myself, that might have been a top 5 season. That was incredible.
God, dude, that guy led an entire country to a championship. What the hell?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Okay, so we're gonna, since we're talking about the old school versus the new school, you're on TikTok as the old school generation guy. We're gonna play a little game called old school versus new school, because, you know, kids do things differently. The guys in the league do things a little bit differently these days. We're gonna start with, who do you think are the better dunkers, old school or new school?
Ooh.
Old school, because you had to play through contact and you were able to throw it over the top of a guy. New school guys, you don't really see those guys throwing it over guys, big guys in particular, that much.
Okay.
When I think about the new school guys, I think that you don't have to play through as much contact as you used to have to.
There's not that thought for the new school guys that somebody could come out from underneath you or behind you and cut your legs out. All right, I could rock with that. What about shooters? Old school versus new school shooters.
Well, Gary, there is no defense for a guy who can accurately shoot 25 feet off the bounce. There's no defense for that. So I don't even think that that's a question. These new school guys that are shooting from 25, 28 feet, I mean, that's something that's otherworldly, no question about it.
Yeah, that makes sense, because, I mean, the guys that shoot nowadays, they literally invented a whole new style of NBA basketball. Okay, this is my favorite question. Old school style versus new school style.
Christine, I got to tell you, and there's only 2 guys, because I just saw this a couple of nights ago. There's only 2 guys who can pull off red boots. That's Prince and Rick James. That's it.
Rick James!
Anybody else wearing red boots, especially 6'6" and 6'7"
guys?
No, absolutely not. No. When I think about the old school guys, I mean, they were so fresh. The new school guys, they're cool, but old school, I'm more of an old school guy when it comes to stuff like that. No doubt. The way that these guys are dressed, no doubt.
Last one for you, J-Dub, before we unfortunately have to say goodbye. Old school versus new school in the GOAT debate, and obviously there's only 2, MJ or LeBron.
Took me a long time to come to this conclusion, but James is the best that I've ever seen. He's just amazing, and he's amazing in every aspect. Never seen a guy who came into the league with that amount of fanfare, that amount of hype, that amount of pressure, and deliver. He could have folded, and he didn't. In fact, he came back better. He's the best that I've ever seen, Gary.
Wow.
Damn.
I actually am very shook by that. Knowing that you're an old school guy, and usually the old school guys like to go with the old school players. So that is a revelation here on Hoop Streams. But thank you so much, Jermaine, for joining us. This is a great conversation.
Hey, and go follow my guy, Chilltown32 on TikTok.
Absolutely. That's where I'm at. Chilltown Hoops 2 on YouTube. Come check me out.